Victoria Jones, the daughter of actor Tommy Lee Jones, was found dead in the city on New Year's Day. Now, TMZ was first to report the news that Jones's body was discovered at the Fairmont Hotel around 3 a.m. yesterday after a medical emergency was reported. Paramedics pronounced the 34-year-old dead at the scene. The cause of death has not been released. Victoria Jones made several acting appearances as a child, including a role alongside her father in the film Men in Black 2.
The daughter of actor Tommy Lee Jones was found dead in an upscale hotel on New Year's Day. According to TMZ, paramedics were called to the Fairmont Hotel early Thursday morning for a suspected overdose after another guest found 34-year-old Victoria Jones on the hotel floor. When paramedics arrived, Jones was already dead. The medical examiner is investigating and has not released the official cause of death. Victoria Jones was the only daughter of the acclaimed actor and his second wife. Tommy Lee Jones has not commented on his daughter's death.
New Year's fireworks were still lighting up San Francisco when luxury snapped into chaos at the Fairmont Hotel. Around 2:50 a.m. on January 1st, emergency crews rushed to the 14th floor after a woman was found unresponsive in a hallway. She was later identified as Victoria Kafka Jones, the 34-year-old daughter of Hollywood legend Tommy Lee Jones. In minutes, the celebration vibe disappeared and the hotel went into full lockdown. A dispatch call mentioned Code 3 for overdose color change, and that alone sent rumors flying fast. But this situation feels off. No injuries, no signs of self-harm, and no substances found. Paramedics pronounced her gone at the scene, yet how she ended up alone in a hallway, not tied to any room, is still a big unanswered question.
I would categorize it as a suspicious death. There's no way to explain. There's no turns up dead in the middle of a hallway in the middle of the night. So that's, I think in those circumstances, there would be a pair sent out. I mean, there's a whole lot of ways to, especially in the digital world that we live in, to put together a timeline. And that's really going to be important here because the only odd thing about this particular case is that this young woman is by herself. Now, and I think I read that another guest, it doesn't say that they're associated with her, found her. And so that's the first question in my mind is who found her? Do they have any, relationship with her? And then you try to backtrack is how does she end up by herself in the floor?
Witnesses told TMZ a hotel guest first thought she had just passed out after a party and tried to help, before realizing it was much worse. By 3:15 a.m., the Fairmont was crawling with uniformed officers, and the hallway was sealed off with yellow tape. The San Francisco Fire Department confirmed a medical emergency call came in at 2:52 a.m. and said only that the person was pronounced deceased at the scene. No details, no timeline, no explanation. Hours later, she was identified as Victoria Jones, daughter of the Oscar-winning actor known for The Fugitive, Lincoln, and No Country for Old Men. The family released a short statement asking for privacy, while law enforcement quietly labeled the incident accidental for now, with the case still open pending toxicology results that could take weeks or months. Meanwhile, the contradictions are getting louder by the hour. TMZ reported that a witness claimed Victoria had been using a white powder shortly before collapsing. When first responders arrived, her lips and fingernails were described as blue, a color change paramedics often associate with oxygen deprivation.
At the scene, what we're being told is, her clothing is on and so forth. So there's no visible signs at the scene of trauma, but once they get her to the medical examiner and they start to examine the body, they may see some signs of trauma. There may be something there that they didn't see at the scene. But I think in this particular case, in cases like this, what's going to be critical is the tox tests. And those tox tests, they take sometimes months to get back, certainly weeks. And then the DME has a better idea of coming up with an actual ruling as to the cause of death. And also, once we get the cause of death, of course, that's going to determine what the manner of death is. So those types of, manners of death that they can rule it homicide, they can rule it natural, they can rule it accidental, they can rule it undetermined. So we'll have to wait and see.
But here's where it stops adding up. No containers, no residue, and no paraphernalia were found anywhere near her. Detectives have reportedly pulled surveillance footage from multiple hotel cameras to track her movements that night. Yet officials still won't confirm whether she was a registered guest or visiting someone else's suite. Even Fairmont's statement raised eyebrows. Deeply saddened by an incident that occurred on January 1st. That's it. Polished, careful, and sounding more like lawyers than answers. And let's not forget, the hotel was hosting its annual New Year's luau that night. A high-end event packed with guests, live music, and flowing cocktails, exactly the kind of scene that lowers guards fast. Insiders say the party didn't stop at midnight. Smaller after-parties moved upstairs, and Victoria was reportedly seen around 2 a.m. with 3 or 4 companions, laughing in the lobby bar before heading toward the elevators. Less than an hour later, she was found unconscious on the floor. And that's where the questions exploded. It's still unclear whether the companions she was seen with ever came forward or were even identified. Adding more layers, court records show Victoria had recent legal troubles in California. In April 2025, she was arrested in Napa County for possession and being under the influence of a controlled substance. Just 2 months later, she faced a misdemeanor domestic battery charge. Sources told the New York Post she'd been struggling for a while, though people close to the family say she was trying to clean things up and stay low-key.
I mean, I think she's 34 years old. I mean, she's a young woman in the best part of her life, and all of a sudden, boom, this happens.
Some reports claiming that it could have been an accidental overdose, but there are some instances in 2025 where she had been arrested and there were substances involved, and there had been just some recent trouble in her life, it seems. But I say there's no way this is coincidence.
Tommy Lee Jones, now 79, has stayed silent beyond the family statement, and that silence is loud. Old interviews are resurfacing, including a past joke about firing his daughter from a set for missing call time, now reading very differently. Every media outlet gets the same response: privacy. And still, the details keep leaking out. The Fairmont, one of the most heavily surveilled hotels in the city, still hasn't released a clear breakdown of what happened that night. Police confirm security footage is being reviewed, but none of it has been made public. Detectives are digging through key card logs, staff statements, and nearby camera timelines. A retired homicide detective told Law & Crime that cases like this are always treated as suspicious until the medical examiner rules otherwise, especially when someone is found in a hallway, not a room. No visible injuries don't mean much. Autopsies can reveal internal issues or subtle oxygen loss that flip the whole story. What's really raising eyebrows is what's missing. No phone, no handbag, and no clear record of who made the first emergency call. In a hotel packed with cameras, no footage of her final moments has surfaced, and Hollywood speculation is already spinning fast. Way beyond the confirmed facts, online commentators are already stitching Victoria's death into a bigger pattern. They're pointing to other young industry insiders who passed under strange late-night circumstances, with official statements that feel polished before answers even exist. Some whispers sound extreme, but they won't die because the story leaves too many gaps. A famous actor's daughter collapses inside a luxury hotel on New Year's Day while elites celebrate nearby, and suddenly even the simplest explanation feels off. Every update adds another odd detail: missing companions, a spotless hallway, and a perfectly timed emergency call. Police say they're waiting on lab results. The hotel claims full cooperation, and the family asks for privacy. But silence in Hollywood only turns the volume up. Now sources hint detectives are reviewing security footage not just from that night, but from the days leading up to it. And that's when things start feeling even heavier. This isn't just about who was there when everything went left. It's about who may have been watching her long before that moment. Insiders claim Victoria may have checked in under a name that wasn't hers. And if that's true, someone had to help make that happen. A luxury hotel doesn't just accept aliases unless higher-ups smooth the process. That's where things turn from tragic to strategic. The Fairmont's New Year's Eve guest list reportedly included powerful entertainment executives, streaming insiders, and even a political fundraiser known for hush-hush celebrity events. Maybe it's a coincidence, but the pattern feels familiar. Private gatherings, big names, and a need for discretion. One source tied to hotel staff claimed security was unusually tight that week, with certain cameras briefly down for maintenance hours before the emergency call. Then it gets stranger. Police sources say the hotel's top floor was cleared immediately, guests told to stay put, and no clear reason given, especially since the hallway where she was found connects directly to that area. 2 nearby suites, usually reserved for high-profile guests who demand privacy clauses, are now part of the mystery. Both rooms were locked when officers arrived, yet neither was occupied by the person who originally booked them. One of those names reportedly belonged to a well-known producer who flew back to Los Angeles that same morning, and he hasn't said a word since. What's wild is how fast the official story froze in place. Within hours, every outlet repeated the same phrase, "No sign of foul play." That line explains almost nothing. A retired detective told Law and Crime he never even used that wording, calling it media-made. He said natural causes can still hide internal damage only an autopsy reveals, and that's why the silence feels loud. Toxicology takes time, sure, but not this much quiet. Behind closed doors, whispers are growing fast. The timing alone raises eyebrows. New Year's Day, a luxury hotel, and a sudden collapse. It echoes too many Hollywood-linked incidents brushed off as personal struggles. Analysts point out that over the past decade, several children of famous actors or executives have died in high-end hotels under vague circumstances. Always late at night, always after a party, and always labeled accidental before full autopsies were public. Some call it the dark pressure of fame. Others see patterns that feel way too precise to ignore. The Fairmont isn't just any hotel either. It's hosted award season galas, charity events, and film world power players for years, with a reputation built on discretion. A former security contractor even claimed there are protocols for sensitive guests, including unlogged access and internal crews that leave no digital trail. Add in camera outages, and the gaps grow fast. Sources close to Tommy Lee Jones say the family is devastated, but extremely guarded. They've survived media storms before, but this one hits different. People close to the actor say he's completely withdrawn, staying at his Texas ranch and refusing calls. A longtime friend told reporters he doesn't want this turned into a spectacle, but silence in Hollywood does the opposite. Now things get even stranger. Detectives have requested access to Victoria's digital history, texts, calls, and location data from the hours before everything went wrong. A tech insider says the timeline doesn't line up. Her phone last pinged several blocks away at 1:47 a.m., almost an hour before she was found. That opens the door to hard questions. Was the phone moved? Was it carried by someone else? Signal bounce is possible, but investigators aren't ruling out tampering. Missing phone, alias check-in, time gaps, none of it fits clean. And beneath it all sits that familiar Hollywood undercurrent no report ever names, but everyone feels. Now the conversation drifts into even darker territory. Some insiders swear certain elite gatherings double as recruitment spaces, where entertainment, money, and performance blur together. Every generation in Hollywood has its own version of the same myth, that fame isn't just earned, it's bargained for. Victoria's middle name, Kafka, lit the internet on fire, with theories claiming she was born into that elite current but never fit its rules. None of that can be verified, but once a legendary Hollywood name collides with a story, this strange symbolism starts getting treated like proof. An old insider who once worked with her father claimed he was deeply superstitious on set, demanding certain symbols be removed. Maybe it means nothing, or maybe the family has long understood the darker folklore floating through the industry. Police say lab results are still pending. The hotel repeats it's cooperating, and officials keep saying, "No foul play suspected," a phrase now feeling less like reassurance and more like a locked door slammed shut. Even the wording of the family statement is raising eyebrows. It was signed the family of Victoria Kafka Jones, not individual names. That's not how grief messages usually read. It feels polished, approved, almost corporate, like someone is carefully steering this story. We've seen this play before. Chaos hits, then silence follows, and soon something shiny appears to pull attention elsewhere. But detectives reportedly haven't closed the file. They're still waiting on keycard data from hotel locks and DNA results from a glass found nearby. Those details could explain everything or confirm we're only seeing what we're allowed to see. Step back, and the pattern looks familiar. A young heir, a night of celebration, a sudden collapse, sealed answers, then quiet. We're told it's a coincidence, but repetition starts to feel intentional. The names change, the setting stays the same, and the final act keeps playing out the same way, over and over again. The darker corners of the internet are running wild, linking Victoria's passing to other high-profile cases that ended just as quietly. Some claim there's a bigger cleanup happening in the entertainment world, where people who stray too far off script simply disappear from view. Others fixate on the New Year's timing. Symbolic, they say, a reset through loss, an idea tied to old industry myths that never fully went away. None of this is proven, but it keeps coming back because the official story feels thin and overly safe, and the questions won't stop. Who was partying with her that night, and why hasn't anyone been named? Why were cameras offline? Why did her phone go silent almost an hour early? In a world obsessed with transparency, why do the biggest names keep ending up with the foggiest endings? Maybe this was a tragic accident, the kind that happens every night to people whose names never hit headlines. Or maybe it's another chapter in a long-running Hollywood script designed to protect its own myths. We can't say which version is real, but one thing is clear: the silence is loud. Whatever happened in that hallway is no longer just one woman's story. It's now part of Hollywood's uneasy folklore, where power, secrecy, and tragedy keep crossing paths as the investigation drags on. So here's the real question: who benefits from the story we're being told? Coincidence or something deeper the industry doesn't want exposed? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, because Hollywood never sleeps.